Hey guys, welcome back to SimUK and Sailaway. We have completed the first 4 challenges, and finally, controlling your sheet. We actually got to do something. Now we're going to go pop down to the... it actually says pop, how random is that? We're going to pop down to the French Riviera and pop along to Monaco and take in the glorious French Mediterranean. Estimated distance 4 nautical miles, estimated time 40 minutes. I don't even know what we're going to experience here, so let's just jump in and find out. Keep an eye out for shallow parts of the coast and the mega rich on their big yachts. Oh, there's going to be people about. Cool. Well, maybe not yet, but in the future of the game, I'm sure there will be. Tip: use the DPT in your GPS window to see the depth below your keel. DPT. There, 22 meters. Excellent. The only problem I have with that is I don't know how much... Oh, that's the depth below my keel, of course. Right, so we've got 23 meters of clearance. So I don't really know what you could do with that if you ran out, to be honest. If it was started going 21, 20, 19, 18, you'd have to like panic. Make a panic move. Now each of these numbers here represent the depth, I think, or possibly, so I'm not 100% sure on this, I think that represents the depth. So if that's the case, then no, that can't be right, because we're in a 19/24 area, but we've got 25 meters depth below the keel, and that doesn't add up. So I suppose we are heading towards a 26 area. It's tricky, this one. I find reading the depth on this game actually quite confusing. Something I need to spend a bit of time addressing, so it's good that I'm doing this tutorial, I guess. Now, am I actually heading for somewhere? Do I have a target? Yes, I do. That's quite a long sail, this. So let's just have a look at the route that we've got and see if there are any shallows. Now, the way I'm reading these numbers are, that's how deep it is in that particular area. I haven't done any trim yet. I'm going to plot out my course first. Plan first, sail second. I just made that up. It gets pretty deep out here, so this isn't going to be an issue. Maybe it's coming into the final... No, to be honest with you, other than the area we're currently in, I'd say that was plain sailing. There's a bit of 19 I saw somewhere just then. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into this, which is annoying. If I'd have known we were doing this, if I'd have known that this was that was relevant in this tutorial, I would have figured that out. Now, who's sailing this boat? Is it me? I'm not getting any decent wind here. Oh look, a tip down in the bottom left that I can't really read. Furl the Genoa to 0% and raise the genica. Understood. So let's pop over here. Genoa furl. Let's do that. That pulls the Genoa in, reels it up, which is really cool, I think. And then we'll bring up the genica, which is the halyard. This opens it up. This is the big ass sail, which, considering we got 110 AWA, I wouldn't have thought that was necessary, but I tell you what, it's picking the speed up almost instantly. Awesome. Right, let's get back here. Just spotted these things. What's this? Oh, look at that! You get badges for having taken your boat out. Do you know, I thought it was picking the boat for me, but I realise now you could probably do this on each boat and earn a badge for each one. Well, that's cool. I like that. So if somebody comes and sails with you, incidentally guys, I'm still working on getting somebody to come and sail with me. So if you've got this game and you want to do a team up and do a challenge or a race or something like that, then please let me know in the comment section, and I'll happily befriend you on Steam, and then we can do that. So okay, we're moving at 6.7 knots now. I'm not convinced the mainsail is perfectly trimmed, but that is why we pulled the genmaker up. Sorry, I just had to check the name there. My poor brain gets confused between all these names. I think that's about the best I can get on the main. 6.6, 6.7. If we're cruising at about 7 knots, I'll be happy. So part of the updates they've released have improved the God rays, or sun rays as they're really called, reduced their strength, I guess, and apparently they were shining through islands, so that's been fixed now. And this is great. I mean, this is what sailing's all about, isn't it? Sailing down the coast. I mean, some people I suppose are more interested in sailing across vast pieces of ocean, but I guess for me it's about, if something goes terribly wrong, I've at least got a chance. I've at least got a chance to swim over there and survive, which is probably something to do with the fear I have of the ocean. Not water. I don't have a fear of water, but I have a fear of the ocean. That being said, I'm just talking rubbish now, I apologise, but that being said, when I went to visit my father in Cornwall when I was a kid, they've got China clay works down there, and they have these absolutely humongous water reservoirs, and they are 50 to 60 metres high, 30 metres wide, full of water, sometimes full of sludge and mud and clay. It's insane, scary as hell. And we used to, stupid kids, we used to go and climb all over those things, but the danger we put ourselves in doing that was absolutely ludicrous. If I caught any of my kids doing that, I would go ballistic, because it is just so dangerous. Anyway, my fear of the water aside, we are cruising at 6.5. The genmaker appears to be improving things considerably. We're on course. I'm supposed to be checking the depths here, but like I say, I've already looked ahead, and I don't see any dangers. I mean, even here by Cap Martin, it's pretty deep over here, 43 meters, I don't know. That's the only thing I'm not really clear on, is how to read these charts on the map. I'm not sure if it means I've got 34-foot clearance there from the keel to the ocean floor, or whether that's how deep it is. Initially I thought that it represented how deep it is at that particular point, but I found that to be completely useless to me, because I don't know how far down my keel goes. But so it makes more sense that it represents the distance between your keel and the ocean floor. But then if that's the case, then these aren't really charts, they are representations of your boat in that area. So there's no confirmation that I've found as yet to clarify which way round that is. So I'd be interested to find out, and after this video I think I'm going to go and have a look and see what I can discover. But it's good, because I've said it 100 times already, probably sick of me saying it to be honest, but the tutorials on this are absolutely sensational. They're so good, really amazing. Anybody can learn to sail using this game. The theory, not the technical sailing skills, although I dare say the more you played this, the more intuitive you'd find everything on a real sailboat. So yeah, it's sensational. But then doing things like this challenge here today, highlights things that you don't know, and then you can go and research them and ask questions to the developers and whatnot, which is what I'll probably end up doing if I can't find the answer pretty quickly. I just ping them an email and say, hey guys, how do the charts on the map work? What does it actually represent? So we're cruising along Cap Martin now, just reaching the point. I'd love to do this in real life. Absolutely love to. Let's see if I can find a nice camera angle for us all. What I'm hoping is going to happen in the future as well, guys, is that I cannot get used to this camera. What I hope is going to happen in the future, guys, is that you can bind camera views to keys and ropes to keys, because and also use controllers, because at the moment I'm using the mouse and the keyboard, which is perfectly fine. But you know, I've got a controller, as most of you will know, with like 25, 26 buttons on it. That could be brilliant for me. That could really make the whole thing way more intuitive than it currently is. Well, not intuitive actually, but just easier, you know, quicker, more realistic. If I want to pull in the mainsail, I can. If I want to refit, I can. I can do it really quickly. I don't have to find the rope, click on the rope and then pull it in. And, you know, especially when you're racing, that speed of wanting to do something and actually being able to do it is going to be important. I suppose technically, you turn into port here. Oh, you can't steer when you're in this view. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I've learnt something. We are not getting a lot of wind on the mainsail here. Yeah, I suppose technically that would give me a distinct advantage over other people who are racing. So maybe that won't come about because they want to be fair to everybody. But you know, that's almost like let's punish everyone. It's not. I mean, it's not. I'm not actually saying that, but it's almost like punishing everybody, restricting everybody for the good of the few. Now maybe that's the right way to do it. Maybe that's the right way to do it, and I'm being selfish and ignorant of others by suggesting that being able to bind all the keys and the ropes to a controller is not really fair. I don't know, but yeah, maybe you could implement a restriction, and then whoever organises the race can dictate whether or not you're allowed to use bound keys, or whether you are restricted to using the default keys or the default no key bindings. Maybe they could do that. It's an option, isn't it? Something to think about. There's the boy. So we've pretty much got the wind directly behind us. I don't think I can open this out anymore. Just really not getting much wind here. 6.1 knots, 5.1 knots, just upping to 5.3. Just to test it out, if I pull it in, is that going to increase or decrease? Decreases our speed. No, I don't think there's anything I can do really with the mainsail. I might as well stick it like that and just have the gen maker do all the work. He says as we sit and stay at 5.2. Can I adjust any of this yet? Yes, I can. Oh. So I'm going to let out the Traveller. Oh wow, what happened there? I have a feeling I just jibed by accident. It shows off my terrible sailing skills. Ah, look at that. We now have some wind. Whoops. Got a bit confused with my buttons there. 5.7 knots. So that was the right thing to do then. Adjust the traveller and accidentally jibe, and then fully open the sail. That seems to have worked. I mean, it makes sense logically. You want as much sail out as you can possibly get when the wind is directly behind you, because contrary to what might seem completely logical, when the wind is directly behind you is actually not when you're at your fastest. There are a lot of similarities to sail design. There's that white dot again. Now you guys, have I just jibed again? No, I haven't jibed, but that should be giving us really good speeds, I'd have thought. We're not going that fast. 5.3. What is the wind? 8.7. So it's not that much, is it? What is TWS? True wind speed. Oh, apparent. I thought it was actual wind speed. Or can I hide the... Oh, that's cool. And I just jibed. Completely jibed by accident there. Now I've lost all that lovely extra wind that I had gained. Ready to jibe. Jibe ho. Come on. Come on. Oh wow, I'm showing myself up here. Well, I'm just going to have to concede that we're not getting a lot of wind. We're not reefed. The mainsail is not getting any wind. Maybe if I come across this way. Ah, jibe. Jibe ho. Here we go. Come across then. Come on. There we go. Finally. That really hasn't improved things a great deal. Although 4.6 knots, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. So maybe then this is quite a well thought out tutorial, and it's basically encouraging you to jibe in order to get a decent angle, to get some speed up. So clever, this game. The guys who developed this, unbelievably clever. Really, really good. I love how they've done everything. There are a few tweaks, being able to look at the sail when you're adjusting it and things like that. And also, I really don't like that left mouse click and right mouse click do the same thing. I think you're underutilising the mouse's capabilities by doing that. I think if I click on a rope from here with one or t'other, actually I can. Can I bring up the gen maker a bit more? No, we can only do 100%. Okay. Let's go back here. Now the Cunningham, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what that adjusts. Putting more tension on the halyard will move the sail. Oh, pull the Cunningham tighter to move the curve forward for stronger wind. Ease the Cunningham in lighter winds. Well, we've got pretty light winds, so I'm going to ease this out a tad. Say 50%. We just jibed again, or we're about to. Actually, it's turn left. Get back on course. Jibe ho. That was late. I need to get my brain around this a bit better. That is definitely helping us here. Look, 6.1, 6.2. I think letting out the Cunningham was very much the right thing to do here. Let's go all the way out, see if that helps or hinders things. We've dropped 0.1 knots, but we are maintaining 6.1. No, we've dropped down to 6.2. Let's go back in to 50%. We're losing a bit here. Can we do anything with the main? Really not. Main sail has a lot of similarities to a plain wing, and you want wind passing over it in a particular manner. I think I'm just going to pull this in tight. Maybe adjust the traveller. Oh, we just jibed again. I feel like I have no comprehension of what's going on today. Well, I mean, we're sailing very much on that wind line. Maybe it's far safer and more sensible to continue adjusting our course. We're definitely getting more wind at this angle. So maybe I'll keep jibing to get the most out of the wind here. He says, cruising at 4.8 knots. What can we do with the Cunningham here? So 100%. We are just barely moving. Down to 50. Is that giving us anything at all? Casting my eye over the depth here on the charts at every opportunity. Is that Venus or Saturn? I can't remember what you guys said now. And we're going to jibe again. Jibe ho. Let's turn a good angle here. See if we can't get something out of this boat. So it reckons 40 minutes, in which case I suppose we're on track. A little bit slow. 5 knots. I really can't do anything with the main. Six knots. That's, I think, the fastest we've been today. So maybe we'll just jibe our way down there just to keep speeds up to acceptable standards. I don't know if swinging out this far and then swinging back in is going to help or hinder our speed, but the target is 40 minutes. We are running out of time to manage that, unfortunately. 6.3 knots. And this is by far the fastest we've been today. 15.2 knots of wind speed. True wind speed. Now you can't have the genica and the Genoa out at the same time. And there is another sail, I forget the name of it right now. Spinnaker. There's a Spinnaker sail, which is kind of half Genoa, half Genmaker. And I'm hoping in the future that you will be able to select, maybe even build your own boat. My God, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Maybe if you could build your own boat, that would be amazing. But yeah, I believe a Spinnaker would replace a genoa and a gen maker as a single multi-purpose, just like a Swiss Army sail. I could be totally wrong in that regard, but that's how I understand it at the moment. But I've got a lot of research and learning to do when it comes to sailing, and which is great because this game is all about that. 6.1 knots. Okay, let's jibe. Ready to jibe. I'm going to swing in hard to starboard here. Jibe ho. Try and get a nice 140, 130, 140 degree angle. We've got some wind now on the mainsail. Pull that in a tad. 6.2, okay. But look at the angle we're going at. So I don't know if I'm going faster by doing this or just wasting energy and time. I'm not entirely convinced that this is the fastest way to sail. I could be wrong. This might well be the fastest way to get down here. I've never done any racing when it comes to sailing, not once. So I have a lot to learn. I do watch it when the Olympics are on, but generally it's in the background whilst I'm working on something else, so I don't really pay enough attention to have learnt anything useful. Quick swig of water there. But the sun is out. The island is there. Another thing rather that I really, really desperately like to see is like docking. I'd love to be having to. One of the funny thing I really enjoy is navigating all the boats that are moored up sort of fairly close together. In a circumstance like that, you really ought not to be sailing your way out of it. You ought to be using your engine. But in a scenario like this where I don't have an engine, you would have to sail out, basically. Wow, our speed has just dropped. Ready to jibe? Jibe ho. Now I'm going to try and hold this angle, I think. Open the sail out. 6 knots. Let's adjust the Cunningham again. See if we can't gather a bit of extra speed. I'm just wondering whether pulling in the main completely, getting it out the way of the gen maker, might in turn pull the traveller in a tad, might in turn give us a bit more speed. Doesn't seem to be the case. Let's just play around with the Cunningham a bit. That's 5.4. So if I let it nearly all the way out, that's actually slowing us down. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have helped us as much as I thought it would. Alright. We shouldn't jibe because we've got the boom centred and basically taken out of action. It's just the gen maker that's going to swing across. 5 knots, 5.1. It's a bit of trial and error to figure out how best to trim your sails. It's a real skill. This is where sailing skill comes into it. But at present, I don't have much. See, now the telltales there are good. So we should be picking up speed, and we are. 5.4. I'm not really getting any significant change in speed by using the Cunningham. Let's have a look at the trim here, because so we've got the genica. Is it a genica? I thought it was a genmaker. Genica. That's not an M. That's two N's. Genica. Idiots. The genica. Okay, the genica. The genica sheet is too tight. Try to ease it until the telltales are even. Didn't even know it had telltales. Alright, let's get over here. So I assume then it's the Cunningham that's going to tighten this up. No? That is making no difference on that at all, is it? Is that adjusting the main? I bet that's adjusting the main, isn't it? You can see I'm learning as I'm playing here. So the genica is up. How do I ease the genica? That's my question. I mean, I could drop it down. Now this is weird. Genica here, two ends. Genica here, one end. And nothing I seem to do is affecting the sail in this diagram. Let me just drop that down again actually and see if it improves our speeds. Let's go down to 75. 4.9 knots. That's actually slowing us down considerably, in fact. Let's put that back up. I really like this game. How are we doing map-wise? Yep, we're good. We're not going to hit anything. So how do I adjust the genica? Come on, give me a clue here. Genoa lead car. When you pull the lead car forward, the top of the sail will close and the bottom part gets more curve for less wind. That's when I close it. That's looking pretty good. The top of the mainsail is too far open. Try to pull the vang or ease the traveller. Really? That looks pretty trim to me. Well, I don't know, guys. I'll be honest, nothing I seem to do here. Okay, that did slightly adjust the sail. The mainsail is too flat. Try to ease out the out haul. Okay, where's the out haul? Got to find this thing now. That's the backstay. That's the genica. Ah, I found controls for the genica. Awesome. Right, let's let this bad boy out. Look at that, we've got that perfectly trimmed now. 9%, that's going to build our speed up. I am learning things whilst playing this game. Oh, I'm not on that anymore. Let's try that again. Let's just let it out all the way. All the way, baby. That really hasn't boosted our speed as much as I thought it might. But the genica, according to this, is perfectly trimmed. You couldn't get it any better. So now I just need to work on the main. So I'm happy with the top, although it says that the top is too far open. So let's find the vang. That's the main vang. Okay, the mainsail is too flat. Try to ease the outhaul. There's the outhaul. Right next to it. Ease the outhaul. Not convinced that is helping me a great deal. So it's going to be a combination of vang alteration. See, now I'm stuck because the outhaul is fully out, so I can't ease that anymore. Is there another main haul here that I'm not aware of? Maybe the Cunningham. Let's ease the Cunningham out. There we go. Stuff is happening. 5.8 knots. This is all good fun. I enjoy all of this. This is great stuff. Jib sheet and jib halyard. I don't know. I'm a bit confused now. Main outhaul. Let's pull that in, see what we get. Now, see, that's having the reverse effect of what we want to do. Maybe I'll play with the Traveller a tad here. The Traveller's nearly fully out. .8 knots. Loads of time. Well, to do this in 40 minutes, I think you'd have to be getting much. Maybe I should have been playing with all the sails and the lines earlier on. 5.8 knots is not fast, really. Anything under 6 I consider to be quite slow. The mainsail is... There we go. Now the genica is flapping about a bit, so I think we need to pull her in. That's not the right one. Try that again. Let's pull the genica sheet in, say 25, 30. That seems to be a bit better. 5.9 knots, 6 knots. So that gives me confidence that I'm making sensible changes. We have just dropped back down to 5.9 though. Let's look at the trim. What's the trim telling me? Genica. Yeah, not perfect. Saying it's too tight again. It was flapping about. I mean, you saw it. Let's leave it at 15. And we've lost so much speed here. What's going on with the main? Whoops, wrong way. That's fully out. There is nothing more I can do with that. I can't ease the outhaul, so I'm going to just settle for that. I think that's the best I can trim for the situation that we're in at present. Now I'm going to have to jibe in to get on course here, and we're literally about to jibe now. Jibe ho. Try as best I can to get something off this. .8, 5.9, 6 knots. The genica's flapping about, so in my mind we need to tighten that in. Yeah, she's too loose. I'm getting there, you see, I'm getting there. 38%, that looks pretty good. I was going to go round about that anyway. 6.2 knots, okay, see now we're flying. We're definitely getting more speed here at 127 degrees. But that's what these challenges are all about. It's about getting on the boat, playing with the lines, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. Superb, and great fun. Great fun for the likes of me. So it said 40 minutes. We're going to come in a bit late, which means I could potentially come back to this challenge and beat my own score, my own time. And I think ultimately whatever it is whatever your interest in sailing is, everybody that I've seen, everybody I've spoken to, any video I've watched, everybody eventually, one way or another, comes back to how fast they can do something, or how fast they can get somewhere. Everybody. Ready to jibe. Jibe ho. This will be our final jibe. I'm going to come in at a nice strong angle to finish here. And it looks like we're heading to the shallows. So I'll be dropping the sails as soon as we're through, basically. Alright, let's adjust. Bring the genica in. Let's check my trim. Says the genica's perfect. Says the main is perfect. I feel like I am finally getting some knowledge, some experience. And just to point it out, bearing in mind I mentioned that everybody comes back to speed eventually, we were cruising at 7 knots then, and I shouldn't have taken so long to tell you because now it's dropped to 6.9. But yeah, I think we've got this trimmed out pretty nice. Getting a decent speed in here. True wind speed, true wind direction, TWD. Perfecto mundo. So we're coming through the finish. A little over 40 minutes. It said 40 minutes and we're sort of 30 seconds over that, so I think we did okay considering I didn't start trimming until pretty late on in the sail. So here we go. Nice. Another challenge completed and more knowledge required. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you coming along. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and if you haven't picked this game up yet, I highly recommend you do, because it's jolly good fun. I really enjoy it. Really nice, really chilled out, and yeah, definitely one to watch. Let's get these sails in. Thanks for watching. Till next time, goodbye.